some quick checks. Let's do a run through. Our checklist. I got my timer. Boop.
What's the timer for?
Just for an hour. Try to keep it tight. Toit.
Nice and toit.
Gallery view to speaker view for me for recording. Unplug my fan.
I have water that's in this wonderful Super Bowl 26 mug, which was Buffalo and the Cowboys.
I don't know sports.
It was the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure.
I got my tangerine LaCroix.
Yay! I had a cat, but she left, and that's fine. I don't like her anyway. She's not even glaring at me. I'm giving her the eye that's like, I hate you, and she doesn't care. She's a cat. That's what cats do.
Cats don't care. Ethernet. Perfect. Got the mic connected. This is good. Volume's
I just
up.
went for a run. We've been trying to do a run a mile a week. Hey,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
We are surrounded by serialized art, from a film series with 7 sequels to a book series with 20 entries, from a television show where zombies tear people limb from limb to a band or musical artist's 3-concept album arc. The possibilities are endless. Thus, this is something serial.
Yeah.
So that's something positive to take, because I'm usually cynical, so that was nice.
Yeah, I like non-cynicism. I like the opposite of that, which is optimism. It took me a second to come up with that word, so that's why I was talking my way through it, and now I'm explaining myself. I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a great segue into... It's not a great segue at all. Wait, it is a great segue, because in Batman Forever...
Oh, no.
Okay.
Now the something serial people have no idea what we were talking about.
I know, they're like, oh wait, let's start over.
Yo.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host, and we've been talking, and you've listened to all of it, and we're in the middle of the episode now.
Yeah, if you're listening on... Hey folks, if you're listening on the Kerrit podcast, you've heard everything. If you're listening on something serial, welcome. You've heard nothing.
And that's it. Boom. Boom.
Boom. Tough acting to acting.
Yeah, we're here now talking. I can't do it. Anyways, I don't care.
Not bad.
Thanks. Okay, so he's dead now in the franchise.
No, that was Kevin's Christopher crawling.
Yeah, because
he's getting there.
Got to crawl before you can walk.
That's right.
And so my accent is in the crawl phase.
Baby steps. Try hard.
And that is walking. That is a walking accent.
That's right. Walking. Sometimes.
Yes.
I'm running. All right.
Do you recall where we left off with the last stuff we were talking about? Because we didn't finish Forever, and we wanted to finish because it's hilarious. It's wonderful.
Yeah, one of the things that you mentioned was talking about Two-Face's food choices.
Okay. Thank you. Let's start with that. So... At this point, I think we're just talking about fun stuff in the movie, but here's the thing about these movies. We've been kind of talking about this. They're comic book movies that are kind of like, whatever, we're comic book movies. Like, we're not Christopher Nolan. We can do whatever. And that's fine. At the same time, I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to jump ahead for a quick second, okay? Batman and Robin's ridiculous, but Mr. Freeze... What's his choice of hideout? It's like an old freezer factory or whatever the fuck. I can get behind that, you know? But with Two-Face, he's like, I want this room painted like Tim Burton shit, and then I want this room painted like this, like Drew Barrymore is an angel, and then I want you two ladies who I've seduced because of my split personality disorder.
For no reason.
And one is Drew Barrymore. Like, I'm pretty sure, hey, you're an established star, right? Perfect. Like, be my good side. You're attracted to me, the Tommy Lee Jones part of my face. Great. Okay. And so they designed the hideout to look like this, okay? So there's no reasonable reason And that's fine. It's a comic book movie. I'm just saying it's just weird, okay? But let's move past that and move into the fact that Two-Face is eating 2 meals every day. How the fuck is he looking like Tommy Lee Jones,
Yeah,
who does not gain weight because he has alcoholism?
Oh, does he really?
Yeah, and he forgets to eat. I don't really know why. Because there are 2 types of alcoholics. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those who drink so much that they just gain a bunch of weight, and those who gain so much or drink so much that they just seem to lose a lot of weight.
Because they don't eat.
David Bowie style.
I was definitely he was on cocaine.
That's what it was.
I was definitely the first example of that. I gained a ton of weight, and I'm not even drinking in quarantine, and I still have gained a lot. I did watch a little bit of the making of the first episode. There's some stuff in there about Batman Forever. The first episode of Batman Forever has some of that, but there's another thing that I learned. Like, Joel Schumacher actually said that he wanted to make a comic book come to life. That's basically what he said. So I think with that in mind, I think this movie is so outlandish and just fucking balls to the wall insane, but it works for what he's trying to do. Batman and Robin, on the other hand, which we will get to, it fails on every level. There is, like, comic books have some sort of heart. There's a lesson to be learned. There's something to gain from it, and there is zero of that in Batman and Robin. It's shoehorned in with Alfred dying, but it's so fucking stupid. Like, it's like a Fast and the Furious approach to Batman. It like, from the
careful,
the family.
people like that.
Fuck them.
I think it's garbage.
It's this family thing that's like shoehorned in.
Family.
Ow! I'm your crazy uncle. I'm a part of the family now. Here we go.
Oh man!
Pedal to the metal.
If it had been successful, it would have just launched like 2 Batman 2 Furious movies with like Batgirl off chilling and doing her own thing, and it would have been amazing. Let's be real.
I mean, isn't it like? And we'll talk about what would have been next. Which I think that should be the last episode that we do of the season, talking about the alternate versions of this movie. Also, there's a part here I'm going to put in Tim Burton talking about like, he almost directed this movie. There's a version of this movie that would have existed as Tim Burton and Michael Keaton. We'll put Tim Burton in here.
I remember toying with the idea of doing another one, and I remember going into Warner Brothers and having a meeting. I'm going, you could do this, we could do that, and they go like, Tim, don't you want to do like a smaller movie now? Just something that's more, and like about half hour into the meeting, I go, you don't want me to make another one, do you? And they go, no. And I just said, no, I know you did. And so we just stopped it right there.
And then it just kind of fizzled out from there. So it was like he planned on bringing Catwoman back, and I think it was maybe Two-Face, because it was going to be Billy D. Williams. Like, they had already set it up.
Dude, that's first of all, that's unfortunate, even though Batman Forever is amazing. But
for what it could have been, though.
True. I mean, I know it's tough because the grass is always greener on the other side, right? But it's unfortunate, but it's also very funny to highlight how, like, that's something I've learned as I've gotten older. Movie executives sitting you down and being like, I can see that conversation happening where they're like, are you really sure? Like, I bet you're not even interested. Come on, you're Tim Burton. Like, you're doing a third Batman. Nah, look, no worries, man. And then, like, maybe Tim Burton's like, I'm still in it. But then because of that conversation, it just ripples throughout the next, like, several conversations over several months. And all of a sudden it's like, whatever, like, it's over now. So, and then it's gone. And that's how that situation was purposely handled by the executives.
Well, it was all like merchandising. They even did that with Batman and Batman Returns, because it was like all these toys and shit like that. And it just became this whole geared towards children. And that movie is not for children in the slightest. But
well, it is for the children that get almost murdered, though.
perfect.
So there is that.
It's a movie that's not for kids, and this would have been along those lines, and the studio execs obviously didn't want to do that because they, it was a huge toy line. I mean, I had a ton of toys from Batman and Robin. I mean, they upped their merchandise game as much as they had it for Batman Returns. It went higher for Forever, and then fucking stratosphere for Batman and Robin.
Stratosphere right into Pop-Tarts with Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I mean, so many things.
Yeah, I just think it's so funny having an official Pop-Tart.
Do you remember Batman Forever? When you went to McDonald's, they'd give you like the McDonald's glasses that were like the Riddler.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
had the Riddler one.
Yeah, I bet you I have some in the basement. I'm gonna have to actually call my mom, and I'm gonna look into this.
I'll just put.
I
a
recall
picture
that.
Yeah,
we used to drive up, and there would be obviously the drive-through. And my mom, I was so young, she'd be like, "Look at the glasses they're selling," and I'd be looking for like spectacles, and so I couldn't see anything, and I'd be like, "I don't see a goddamn thing, Mom." And she'd be like, "Don't curse, you're 7," and I'd be like, "Ah, like this story's gone awry." But anyways,
and then Christopher Walken hops out. Kevin, glasses that you drink out of. Come on, I mean, come on. Don't be a fool. Drink some squirt. All right, that's the first.
Is that Christopher Walken?
Of course. Okay, bye.
Mom. And then I'd be like, "Who's that French guy, Mom? Why are you carrying this French guy around?"
Max Zorin, that's me.
Dude, I wish it's so funny. Those things they were so well manufactured back then. They don't really do stuff like that anymore. It's like, here, like grab your plastic popcorn thing that you can bring for unlimited refills, then it melts in the dishwasher like a year later. It's like, it's so lame.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no. It's basically because so many things are like digital now. It's always. It's this random shit that you don't need. There's a small niche of collectors kind of collecting things. I mean, I had a ton of Jurassic Park toys. They're all gone now, but they were amazingly made by Kenner. Kenner was the company, and now Mattel makes them. And I can't remember who made the Jurassic World toys. It wasn't Mattel. I think Mattel's making them now, but it was something else, and they fucking sucked.
I always thought Mattel was good. Did they go down the drain? Or?
Mattel has it now. They're serviceable. They're no Kenner, that's for sure. Kenner toys.
Is Kenner still around?
No, Kenner's
This
gone.
is a good topic. I'm curious about this now.
Hasbro had it, and then they fucked it up with Jurassic World, and now it's Mattel. I'm pretty sure I'm right. If I'm wrong, let me know, or I'll throw Kevin Spacey in here.
So, first of all, please don't do that. Look, I like Glengarry Glen Ross. I'd rather just.
Will you go to lunch?
How do you know that line? Oh, that's so random. I mean,
I love
is a
that
good
movie.
I haven't seen it as many times as you. I watched the Alec Baldwin as a Christmas elf in Saturday Night Live, probably a little more. That was a good one. But I think it's interesting because you and our mutual friend Alex have always been interested in the toy aspect of these franchises.
It's pure nostalgia.
And that's okay. I'm not like trying to call you out or anything. I think it's an interesting topic. It is. It's just kind of interesting to me how it has evolved. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, couple things. These franchises, first of all, nothing would exist without advertising, right? The TV exists because they wanted to put ads into people's homes.
For
right?
sure. That's 100% true.
Yeah, and then same thing with, I don't know actually with radio. That's a good question because at first I feel like radio was used for literal like transmission stuff, like base-to-base type stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's like 1800 stuff, like 1890s. It's a long time ago. So, anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting really off track. The point being, it then turned into toys, right? Star Wars didn't exist because of the toys, but eventually
toys existed because of Star Wars. Yep.
Exactly. And everything has kind of flip-flopped now where, they're just trying to pump out whatever the fuck they can fucking milk off the teats of Star Wars
Consumers.
and comic books and whatever the fuck else.
It's complete consumerism. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a bummer because I think that is the downfall of this movie. I think that, Two-Face looks as outlandish as he does. The Riddler is like in all these different costumes. The Batmobile it's got the fucking blue thing in the center, which is like, that's not what an engine would look like.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's like, it used to be so sleek and dark and like made sense, and then now it's like flashy and gimmicky, and it's like, what comic books are these? Are they like, he wanted to make a comic book come to life, but what year are we talking?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Now, I'm not a comic book reader.
Me neither.
So correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comments, and we have been getting comments, and I must say I haven't read as many as I should. I feel kind of bad. Perhaps we should address that at the end of the episode.
Well, we pissed off a guy from Batman Returns, that's for sure.
Yeah, which we can also address at the end of the episode. Well, how much time are we at?
He won't listen again. We're at 38 minutes. We should probably take an anchor ad for the audio and then just keep going for the video.
Okay. Oh, so if they're watching on video, they don't get the anchor ad.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, guys? Like, congrats, first of all, for, this is like extra content or whatever the fuck. Or it's not, because I guess you wouldn't have had to watch the ad. Anyways. Right. Listen to me. The Batmobile having a blue engine, right? This was created, you think, in your theory, not because Joel Schumacher's like, I'm bringing a comic book to life, but because executives are like, we're selling toys with that.
No, not necessary executives. I think it's more along the lines of everyone trying to be on the same page. Like, this movie, I don't even know. It's so weird because, like, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are starkly different, but, like, in the same vein. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's almost the same as Batman and Batman Returns are, but in the opposite direction. Like, they're both good movies, obviously, but I think Batman Returns is exactly what Tim Burton wanted to put on screen. And Batman Forever, it clearly, like, stuff got cut, drama got cut out of it, and, more impactful scenes are gone. But I don't think it's Joel Schumacher's specific vision. And then with Batman and Robin, I cannot...
Can you hear me still?
Oh, I can hear you. Oh,
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My video went crazy for a second. I just wanted to make sure everything was good.
Oh, sorry. I patched in. I'm here in Silicon Valley. Working hard. Hopefully, I don't fall out of a blimp. With Batman and Robin, I don't know if it's what he wanted to put on screen or if the executives are like, do this. I can't tell. I haven't watched it yet. But, like, thinking back on it, it blows my mind how that's a movie. Like, who thought all these ice puns? Like,
God, I know.
With Batman Forever, there are no, like, wordplay puns. The dialogue's fine.
Well, there's some, like, holy rusted metal Batman.
There's that, but that's a reference to previous Batman. So that's
that's
like
true.
Even Batman's just like, what?
Yeah,
he's like,
he's like, come on, what the fuck,
metal,
Robin?
It's full of holes. It's holy. Yeah.
Like, Robin, I'm leaving you in the motherfucking Batcave if you bring that shit in here again.
Like, I know Jim Carrey improvised a lot, for sure. Two-Face had lines that were written, but it was, like, all about killing Batman or, the long-eared rodent or whatever the fuck he said. The only lines that I think have that kind of, oh, this is out of place, is the weird flirtation between Chase Meridian and Batman, like, especially on the roof.
You mean the sexy flirtation? Yeah, there is a saxophone in that scene.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we talked about it last episode.
Yeah, it's so cute. I like it.
But I think that's the one, like, anytime they're talking, it's like it's this fine line between what an actual psychologist would say and what Batman would say in the moment, and then when they're alone, it's like they're both trying to fuck each other, obviously. And then it's like, it's smart and witty dialogue. I don't think it's truly awful. Batman and Robin, on the other hand, why, how?
I have to say, I've been thinking about this a little bit, and I think, and this I think is true of like anything in Hollywood or any franchise really, but especially back then when they were like those types of movies were sort of in their infancy. Like, yeah, you had Superman, but that's like it, kind of. Yeah. And I think to an extent, there's a lot of groupthink going on where along with like overlapping miscommunication and like stupid people doing stupid things because they're executives, because like anybody can get a job. And I think everyone was just kind of like, let's do this, or maybe we'll do that. And then it all amalgamated in this giant ball of like, oh, we're selling toys and we got some ice puns and we got Pop-Tarts and like, here's a blue engine light and fucking like, I'll cancel the pizzas. Like
that's in Batman and Robin. Yeah.
It's just kind of like, everyone's kind of like, is this good or is it bad? And you can't really tell, you can't get a full grasp of it until you watch it. That's something that another thing I feel like I've gotten into as I've gotten older, where I'm like, well, why didn't somebody just like do this or do that? It's like, well, there's a lot of people that make a movie, and there's a lot of people who are like trying to please everybody else, like people pleasers, while also kind of trying to do their own thing. And I can see how that. I mean, look at this is what like companies do. Companies are idiots.
So who do you think was the real driving force behind Batman Forever?
I think that, like, for example, like, and this is all speculation, but Tim Burton's gone. They want a more comic booky movie. Joel Schumacher's like, sweet, I want to do that. And he's talking with the executives, and they're like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I want to have some crazy shit. And they're like, great, we love crazy shit. And then it kind of just went back and forth, and they kind of kept almost like upping the ante in the poker game. And I just kind of feel like that's how that conversation must have went, because he had free reign to do whatever, more or less.
So
obviously stuff was cut, but like
in
terms of production design and character design and costuming and all that stuff.
So it's basically everyone kind of on the same page.
Yeah, everyone's kind of on the same page, but they're also kind of using each other for different reasons almost.
Now, what do you think about Batman and Robin? What do you think? Who was the driving force behind that one?
I think that's both of them. I think it's the same issue. I think that they were like, this worked. Let's fucking double down on this shit and keep up. Like, because in sequels, it's pretty natural to try to make everything bigger and crazier. So you take something like Batman Forever, and you take that same, like, you know, same executive, same director, same creative forces, and they're like, let's make it crazier. What's crazier? Ice puns, Pop-Tarts, like we're back to the same shit, you know? And it just gets, and you don't realize how bad it is because you're like, this worked so well the first time, and we're making it bigger and better and crazier, and Mr. Freeze lives in a freezer and everything.
See, that's what I'm saying is like the lair. So we started this with talking about Two-Face's lair, but his lair is split down the middle. It's like one's painted like the devil, one's painted like an angel and God and heavenly. But like that's in his obvious ridiculous outfit. But
like, who's sewing that?
I know. So that's the extent where you're just like, okay, I can see how a comic book come to life would look like this. Now, if he was doing, like, he has a coin, but he didn't say, like, Bruce, we're two sides of the same coin. Like, that's the fucking dumb pun that you would expect from what Batman and Robin became. So it's, like, hard to look at one and be like, ice puns, and then another one and be like, pretty good dialogue. You know what I mean? It's like the writer threw it out the fucking window and is like, let's just make Mr. Freeze, like, sad his wife is dying, he's trying to find a cure, and also a diamond thief, and makes his fucking henchmen sing Frosty the Snowman? Like, why would he be
interested in Frosty the Snowman?
Because it's ice, it's puns, it's fucking we need to look this up.
Dude,
who wrote both of them?
Well, Akiva Goldsman he wrote the Batman and Robin, and then he co-wrote Batman Forever with the help of two other people that I can't think of.
Okay.
But at the same time, I mean, the man is talented. He won an Oscar for A Beautiful Mind. Like, he wrote I Am Legend, which aside from the ending,
I'm pretty convinced that he wrote the reshot
bad
ending.
parts.
And that's the only thing he wrote.
yeah, right. Well, maybe.
No, that's
good
not
question.
true.
No,
But-
I had a weird flash of someone else's name, but I don't think he wrote that movie at all. So, anyways.
I mean, that's the thing though. Is like his motive is unclear. It's so in Batman and Robin, and it's like it's just so weird to think about because it's so bad. Like
you went from we're two sides of the same coin, which is a decent pun.
no, never said it. That
Oh, he
was
didn't
me.
see it in that
No,
movie?
that was me saying that would be a pun. But
I was going to say
there's
that works. I like that. Are you
Yeah.
sure he doesn't say that?
Positive.
That's unfortunate.
there's no
That's
puns
crazy.
to my knowledge in Batman Forever that I can remember. But it is pun heavy. Like even the shit that Poison Ivy's saying, where it's like, you know, God created the heavens and the earth in one day, and like whatever the fuck she's saying, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, who wrote this?
Well, how about when Robin and Batman are talking about her, and they're like, "Nice stems, though. Buds too. Yeah, those are nice." Like,
Yeah, like what the fuck, man?
why are
Like,
they? What are they doing? They're talking about that. Like, come on.
Like, why are they talking in code? And it's like the only thing that I can think is like they dumbed it down to make it more palatable for children.
See, that's possible, but I really think this just adds into the we're going crazier. Like, everyone liked the spectacle of Batman Forever. Let's reach even more into the bag of tricks, which apparently is literally all Batman 1960s influence, which is evident in Forever to an extent, for sure, obviously. Then they were just like, oh, sweet. Our version of doubling down is more references and more stylistic similarities to Adam West.
There are two things. Oh God, Adam West. There are two things that I want to bring up about Batman Forever that I forgot about. There's the introduction of the tabloid lady. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's
Bruce,
Bruce!
are you going to tie the knot? That's from Batman Forever, or Batman and Robin, but
Yeah.
I don't remember what she says in the other one.
She's talking to Edward Nygma, and then she asks him something, and then she's like, "It's Bruce Wayne." She's just over the top,
So
and you're
funny.
like, "Did
It's
you
so-
go to Christopher Walken acting school?"
She's like, I'm French.
So
I speak
yeah,
English so well.
Bruce. Now, tell me, what was that?
That took me way too long.
Yeah, so there's the introduction of her. I hate her character, but she again makes sense in this movie. And then also we do have another, maybe the first, or no, not the first, because it happens in Superman, I'm sure. But another instance of someone announcing the hero is here. Like, remember in Spider-Man? It's Spider-Man!
Right.
We have it in Batman Forever when he comes through that glass. There's a guy.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, oh, how does he say it? I want to match it, the video up. It's like, Batman! Ah! And he's like right behind Nicole Kidman. I'm like, how many times did they shoot this? How did she not laugh? It's so dumb.
That's one of those things that I randomly watch the behind the scenes on. First of all, I used to watch behind the scenes all the time when I was
too.
younger. And I don't anymore because I'm kind of like, well, they probably did something to make that effect.
Yeah.
But they like had a trampoline with Batman. And
Well, they did two shots of it because they had the stunt guy come through the glass and then land in the fountain, and then they cut, and then they did another one where he like jumps down and then bounces off.
Exactly.
And it's like, and there are actually shots where you can look and during the fight, you can look and be like, that's not Val Kilmer. And it's just that it's the stunt guy. Also in the helicopter, like when Two-Face is inside in the beginning and then Batman's on the outside, there is a deleted scene on the DVD. We'll put that in here, but you can hear the audio. It's not Val Kilmer. And it's like just a guy as the stuntman saying Val Kilmer's lines. It's pretty fucking weird.
Interesting.
You need help, Harvey. Give it up. We need help. Have you looked in the mirror lately?
Maybe he says something like we're two sides of the same coin or something like that.
I can't believe they didn't say that. That's do they say it in The Dark Knight? They must have used that line at some point. What a wonderful line to use.
I think it's so on the nose that it would only make sense if Two-Face was in Batman and Robin. To me, it's a dumb line. I would never write it.
Really? Because they kind of are two sides of the same coin.
I mean, it's too on the nose.
Interesting.
For what it is, it's great. It accomplishes what it's trying to do, which is make a comic book come to screen. So it has all the parts of, glam and crazy and out there, and also like heart, and it is there. Mm-hmm. You have to search for it. But
I do have a question.
Sure.
About it, and I forgot it. So let me cut this part out as I think out loud. So we're talking about Batman Forever, and this is what it was. Actually, you can actually leave this in because I immediately recovered.
Planned on it.
I don't know how to phrase this, so I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit. But I have noticed in a thing where it seems like I have to plug my computer in because it's about to die. So one sec.
God damn it. Well, hey, if you're still there listening and or watching, just make sure that you guys subscribe. That would be great. Write a comment, tell a friend, get this going, because the season's about to wrap up, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop being fucking awesome all the time. So ring the bell for notifications. You got to say that before he gets his headphones on.
Hi.
Hey,
he said
back,
something.
Kevin.
Don't listen to him. He's lying.
We need listeners.
Listen to him. He's not lying. Anyways, okay, I feel like there has been an aggressive campaign on the part of franchise-owning studios to cast people in roles that can perform their own stunts to a greater degree than was accepted 10, 20, 30 years ago. At the same time, I wonder if it's just simply that editing techniques have gotten better. Visual effects have gotten better with pasting faces and whatnot. And like green screens, all that stuff. Just things have gotten better to make it look better. I mean, because it's not like Captain America's flipping around doing ninja kicks. Like, it's not Chris Evans. Like, that's definitely an example of where there's a stuntman.
But the thing is, I mean, I wonder if it's different for Batman because the suit is so heavy. I feel like it's 40 pounds of rubber. If Val Kilmer's walking around, then it's fine. But if he's like, throwing a punch or whatever with another stuntman, it's like that is something that now that I feel like the suits would weigh less. Like, I think Christian Bale probably did more of his own stunts than Val Kilmer or George Clooney did in these movies, and Michael Keaton in Batman Returns. Yeah,
well, that's something that's interesting to me because
there are scenes where you see like Val Kilmer throwing a punch, and you're like, that's not Val Kilmer. That's a stunt guy. That's so weird. In Batman Forever, it's like, why?
This makes me want to watch it again because now that I have it on Blu-ray and I have my huge TV, I kind of want to, because that's something I've noticed watching old Bond movies. I'm like, this is clearly not Roger Moore. I've watched like 4 of his movies. I'm like, that is so not him.
You mean in A View to a Kill where the car gets cut in half?
That is one.
There's also a scene where he falls through the roof of the boat and falls on the cake, and if you look, that's totally not Roger Moore.
Yep. And I'm actually watching Octopussy as well, and there's that chase scene through the streets of India, and he's like not in it at all. I mean, he's just not. He's
only in it to throw the money.
See, this is what I mean, though. This is what's interesting because, like, for example, at that time, you can't really use visual effects as much as you can now, obviously. Yeah. So they would try to use like editing techniques. So they would cut to a wide shot so you can barely see him already, and then his face is kind of like hidden by shadows or maybe his shoulder, and you can kind of get away with it a little more, even though now you can't because I'm watching it in 4K. Amazon streams some stuff in 4K, which is awesome. This is what I'm into these days, by the way.
Also back then, though, they didn't plan on people having the thing.
That's true.
You would
that
just
is correct.
watch it in the theater, or then HBO came out and you'd watch it live on HBO, and then people started getting VCRs, taping things off TV, buying the actual thing, renting them from stores.
And even then the quality wasn't amazing.
Yeah,
as it is now.
VHS. Yeah, now it's amazing quality, and you're like, that's not Roger Moore.
You can see like microscopic detail. Well, maybe not that much, but you can see quite a bit. And so I wonder if part of my understanding is maybe it's not that performers are doing as much of their own or more stunts. It's just that studios are more savvy to the needs of the consumer in regards to what that's going to be presented like, or its presentation.
I think it's also along the lines of, like, it depends on how dangerous the stunt is and how in shape the person is. I mean, because, like, Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig have gotten fucked up on the sets of Star Wars and James Bond constantly. Mm-hmm. And you're like, how is that even possible? What are they doing? Running? What are they doing?
See, I think that's actually a good example of people that they are trying to hire specific people that can do more things. Like Daniel Craig was hired, and he has had injuries on like every single one of the Bond movies.
Yeah.
He's had like a major injury. And like you wouldn't hear that story about Roger Moore, I feel like. Mm-hmm. I think they hired Daniel Craig to put him into shape. First of all, another thing, I think they're definitely putting actors into, serious boot camps to be ready for these movies. Everyone's jacked to tits. I mean, they fucking literally have some kind of HGH, if not literal HGH, to get them into the right physique for these movies. So, I don't know. I think it's a little, like, they are doing a little more. They're more prepared. They're working out with, like, Taekwondo instructors. What's that guy? Billy Bo Billy? Billy Phillips?
I have no idea.
Who's the Taibo guy?
Billy Banks?
What? No. Who's Billy Banks?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Here's my concern, though. It's like, I know stuntmen still do stunts. Stuntmen, stuntwomen, they still do stunts.
It's Billy Blanks. You were so close.
That's what I said.
You were serious?
Did I say Billy Banks?
You said Billy Banks, but that's still fucking close.
Billy Blanks, yeah.
I cannot believe you knew that. I thought you were joking. Like, well, I don't know. Like, you're saying funny things, Kevin. Like Billy Banks. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think my dad had a tape of his or whatever. Never used it.
That's why it's like Limitless, where you're Bradley Cooper and you took a pill and you reached deep into your memory and were like, my dad has a motherfucking Tybo videotape. That's so funny.
I never thought I'd hear that sentence. My dad has a motherfucking Tybo videotape.
That might be the title. I don't know. There's so many good titles here.
You can't make the title something that happens in an hour in.
Cut all the other stuff. Let's just re-record and we'll just start from here.
No, I gotta get dinner.
Hello, everyone.
So we'll hit this and then we'll get out of here. But
okie dokie. Really
quick, I think that's bad having actors do all these stunts because, I mean, what are the odds that they're paying them extra? Like sure, they have an amount that they're supposed to get paid. Mm-hmm. But if they, I mean, it also affects the movie because production will be halted. Mm-hmm. They can't do the thing. That's why they...
Ankle, bam, 8 weeks are gone.
Exactly. Daniel Craig on fucking Quantum, Skyfall, Spectre, it always delays it, right?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford on Star Wars. So the whole idea is, yes, you're getting these people to do these things, but are you paying them extra? Mm-hmm. And if they're still getting hurt and it's the actor doing it, I mean, doesn't that mean you don't have a safe production?
There are a couple things here that I want to throw out there. There's a lot to unravel.
It's concerning.
I think, first of all, stunt performers are amazing and definitely...
Agreed.
Are still needed, of course, obviously, a bunch. I also think that they are definitely treated poorly in the industry.
Yep.
People will die on these sets, and I don't think it's necessarily because it was an unsafe stunt. I think it's because they were maybe shooting too quickly or there weren't enough experienced people at the time with the right communication going on. like if you look into the situation where that woman who lost an arm on the set of the last Resident Evil movie,
I didn't hear about that.
That happened. And first of all, that sucks. Didn't hear about that. That you should have, because like these things are crazy. Like they're bad. And I think that it's almost like a use them, abuse them. It kind of it's like football almost. Where
well,
it's
you're
whatever.
expendable.
Like,
they treat you like you're expendable. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the thing too, is it's the same in comedy, where it's not the exact same. No one's lost an arm doing comedy,
right?
Unless you're diabetic. No, the idea that it's just like, well, I'm not going to do that gig because they're not paying me enough. They're treating me like shit. I'm a second-class citizen. I'm not going to fucking work there. Well, great, because we have 1,000 other people in line, so we're just going to have them do it. Same thing happens in stunt work.
Shit, the same thing happens in, like, visual effects.
Visual effects.
Yeah, like you're a computer programmer. They're like, oh, work 80 hours a week, no overtime, whatever. You're working on Fast and Furious. You should be fucking happy. Like, no, dude, that's fucking crazy.
And you also have it shoved down your throat that that's the American dream. You're getting to do what you love, but it's like, in the words of the Joker, never do. What does he say? It's if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I'm good at editing, but I've made the podcast for free. So
right. Well, yeah, right. Anyways, well, I get what you mean. I get it. But so that's one part. Like it's so weird to me that you need them. You need them. At the same time, they are basically faceless. So whatever. And we're all about the money. Other thing is, Tom Cruise has to pay for his own insurance on Mission Impossible movies to be able to do those stunts himself. So it is more expensive to insure actors that would actually want to do those things. And probably a lot of them don't even want to do it. If I were an actor, why the fuck would I want to fall like 10 stories onto a pillow? Like that sounds fucking terrifying. So
I just imagined you falling off of a building onto like a fucking 300 goose down feather pillow or whatever, however that phrase works.
Did we get it?
There's just there's feathers everywhere.
No, the feathers got in the way.
God damn it!
This is my voice when I'm acting. This is what I think action heroes sound like.
Fuck you, Alan Rickman, because you're alive in this scenario, because you're a bad guy a lot also. And I'm falling now.
Like, that's what it is.
It's pretty good.
Pillows.
So that's part. So there's the insurance aspect, but I just wonder if they. Yeah, I just wonder. I don't know. There's another thing. There's a third part to I had a three-pronged attack like Alexander the Great. I don't know if he did that, but.
Well, I'm going to throw another thing. Check out Corridor Crew. We've tagged them in previous videos, but they have stuntmen and stuntwomen react.
Ooh, all right.
So it's really fascinating hearing about that world. So they'll have people like from Marvel shows or Marvel movies and stuff like that on talking about stuff, and they'll also talk about previous movies like Jackie Chan stuff where he's doing his own stunts, he's getting injured as well. So it's like Jackie Chan is like an actor that does his own stunts, and Tom Cruise is an actor that does his own stunts. But then you have like a Daniel Craig who it's like, why is he doing his own stunts? He's pretty important. He is James Bond. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt. I mean, Jackie Chan is like the driving force for any movie he's in.
For sure. It's just it's so interesting to me because it's like I never thought of Daniel Craig as a stunt guy. It's like I don't even know what stunts he's doing to get hurt, like jumping from something to something. It's like he's fucking 60, and so is Tom Cruise. But
this was back when he was in his 30s too, when he was getting injured.
That's true. He got fucked up on Spectre, didn't he? Like throw out his shoulder or some shit?
I don't know. I remember one he chipped a tooth, and one I think he broke a rib or something. He breaks stuff all the time, which is weird because he's portrayed as like kind of a squat, burly man. I feel like.
I did just
in the movies.
I did just watch Spectre again, and that movie is utter trash.
Bad.
It starts pretty great.
Yeah, the opening's good. There's some good parts sprinkled in the very first hour, I feel like. And then it just kind of goes I didn't hate when he visited Mr. White. I mean, it wasn't the worst. It was interesting. It was well shot.
This is the problem with the movie. The first act sets it up as M is having him do all this stuff, and then it turns into, but it's actually about Bond's backstory. And you're like, why would M be having him go on a wild goose chase about his own backstory. It makes literally no sense.
The main issue with this movie, with Spectre, is exactly what happened with Batman and Robin. They doubled down on what worked in the past, which was Skyfall. Oh, we got into Bond's backstory. Perfect. Let's do it again. And then we'll do it even harder because what's this? Oh, it's Blofeld. We can play with him now. And we're like them brothers. And it's literally, I mean, I've heard this before on podcasts, but it's the same thing that happened in Austin Powers and Goldmember. I mean, it makes it so Dr. Evil and Austin Powers are brothers. And it's like, you just did a parody of a parody. What are you doing? You made a parody serious. Are you kidding? The whole cool thing about Bond is he's completely unattached. That's the cool thing about him. He has no ties. It makes him interesting because he's always emotionally repressed. That's the point.
I just hope quarantine or coronavirus ends and we can fucking see No Time to Die. But hey,
I know.
We are over an hour. We got to get out of here. I got to get some food.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys next week to talk about the garbage gem in the crown, Batman and Robin. And it was great talking with you, and I love you, and be safe, and numbers are spiking everywhere. It's not politics. That's just science. It's crazy. It's scary. Whatever. Yep. Be safe. Everyone's dying. It sucks. Minnesota's doing a thing where you can do your own tests now. So I
heard about that. It would be nice.
I have one.
The whole country.
Do it tomorrow.
Ooh, nice.
I don't think I have it. I'm doing it because it's a good idea to get tested.
Yeah, I should get tested again.
Yeah.
I guess, well, no, because, they're scarce now, so.
That's crazy. Move to Minnesota. You can just fill out a form and get it, and that's it.
That'd be nice.
Michigan I don't know sucks. How. I love Tim Walz. He's our governor. He's awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome. This has been the Kerrit presents Something Serial presents that really funny line I said a few minutes ago about motherfucking Billy Bo Blake's Tybo.
My dad has a fucking Tybo videotape.
Yes, that's exactly right. Thank you for listening.
All right, bud.
And goodbye. Don't buy local burrito trucks. Don't go to Chipotle. They're fucking sofritas and shit. I don't know. Fucking soupy. Flop. Fucking burnt tendon chicken shit. Fucking awful. Double wrapping bullshit. Hate it.
Oh my god.
Queso's not bad.